Alright guys, how's it going? So, this is me, Druggets. Here, we're going to show you a few battles that, at the beginning of my season, I decided to try out a team built around Toxapex, triple water, I know, but surprisingly, it went alright. Take it with a grain of salt. This is the first day of the season. Nothing really crazy going on here, just got a bit of a showcase. So we're running Swampert with Toxapex and Lantern in the back. So it's not terrible. Starting off with a neutral matchup, we got Snorlax here. It's going to be a little bit slow, but let's see if he wants to shield this Earthquake here. And if you guys see, I got my drawings going on the side, just for those who think it might be a little bit too boring just to watch the PvP. Figured I'd add something extra in there. Let's see what we got going on here. So, they decided to switch into Hitmonlee, and so, this is the beginning of the season. You're going to see a lot of crazy stuff. That's why, you can't really judge a team based off of its performance in the first days of the season. There's so many people, new and old, just running whatever. We got Moltres in the back. Could have been a Talonflame. Nah, I wanted Moltres. I respect it. But we take that game pretty easy. But let's move on. Let's see what we got here. I had already done a battle from the previous season that I forgot to finish out a set, so if you're wondering where that one was, there you go. Let's see what Order from Noise has got. Alright, Swampert on Swampert. I think I misplayed this one actually. I think this might be the one. So let's see. Firing off the Hydro Cannon, of course they want a shield. Let's see here. I give him a shield in return. And let's see, farm it up. Okay, they decide to catch it onto a Metachamp, which isn't the best. Still big neutral damage. But I decided to go into my Toxapex. And I'm thinking okay, who runs Psychic on this thing anymore? Who could possibly be running Psychic on this right now? They do. They absolutely do. So I'm in a bit of a rough spot. This, they should, in quotation marks, have been running Dynamic Punch or Ice Punch, anything else. But, it happens. They try to bait Power Up Punch, and they come back in with Swampert. I still have some energy though, so I did win Switch. But of course, they want this thing alive. They don't care what they gotta do. And what sucks is Swampert got the farm down here. And that's gonna be probably the biggest thing, because he can threaten both of my party members with that. So I'm like, okay, I gotta shield the first one, and thinking if I can get the catch onto the other one. But I swear it doesn't look like it here. My game lagged out, that's my excuse. And I just get annihilated by this thing. And they've got Galvantula in the back, which, good on them. Solid team. They outplayed me here. So yeah, this is one of the worst sets. Triple water. Don't really want to see a Galv, even though I've got two team members that do good and neutral against it. You can tell why he wanted that Swampert out of the way. But yeah, not the worst. It went alright. But yeah, I just get outpaced by this guy. He gets to the Hydro Cannon and, it's curtains. We're out of here. Wrap it up. Oh man. But yeah guys, this is my new series. We're gonna be making that climb to legend, and if I don't make it to legend, if you didn't see the previous video, I'm gonna be giving up a Masterball on the first Bidoof I see, because honestly, he deserves it. Bidoof will always deserve Masterball treatment. It doesn't matter what his IVs are. If he's shiny or not, he's just worth it. But I'm picking up a good matchup here. Toxapex into Pelipper, not bad at all. So they're going to be firing off some Weather Balls. They're not building up. This is one thing that I thought was really weird in this battle, is they never built up to the Hurricane. And they never even attempted to throw a Hurricane. I know, spoilers, but this is what you kind of expect in new seasons. Odds are they probably don't even have it. They just have Weather Ball, which, no hate here. They're out here, they're learning, they're doing their best, and they bring in Aromatisse. And if they don't shield this, yeah, they shielded, of course. They've got some know-how here. But, you know, come back in with Swampert, just gotta fire some Hydro Cannons. You don't really need to do anything else. This thing is not that bulky. It should be fine either way. Fire it off, he lets it go, and then they bring in Lucario. And, you know, this is, like, I'm gonna be saying this the whole time, but it's just rank 1 nonsense here. Like, Lucario is cool, and, like, I think he was mostly good in the Fantasy Cup last season, and right now you can see the poor guy he's just given up, which, like, you know, it happens. I feel like it's the most, I guess it's like a good spirited way of, like, quitting is just to top left. I don't know, whenever you close the game out, not only is that, like, it's gonna take you more time than it is me. Like, you gotta reload your whole game. I don't know. But are you guys able to guess what the Pokemon is? I feel like 99% of you have figured it out by now. I don't know, I'm trying to figure out different ways to film this stuff, but my hand appears to be blocking the majority of it. So we'll have to figure out other stuff. Right now I have my, like, literally all it is just my phone attached to a tripod right above my sketchbook. I don't have the craziest setup here right now, guys. We're gonna be investing. But picking up this matchup, we got Swampert into Whiscash. Fairly neutral. I think that Swampert outpaces just by a little bit if they want to go for Scalds. But overall, it's pretty close. They want to fight for Switch. I want to fight for Switch. So that's what we're going to do. Good thing is I can tank one move. And, well, so can they. But I think I just outpace here. And yeah, we're good. So we're going to take them out. Or attempt to. They really want to fight for Switch here. So they give up the shield. I'm like, okay, you know what? I'll take the shield advantage. And we're just going to build up to a Surf. And they want to throw the Mud Bomb. That's going to do big damage to Lantern, even if it is like... And yeah, I don't know what was going on here in their head. They went for a Scald, maybe praying for a debuff. But I just thought that was a really strange play. And okay, so they got Lantern in the back. So we got to take this thing out. If that gets paired up against my Toxapex, we're in for a bad day. And so yeah, they're gonna throw the Thunderbolt here. All shields are down, but I think I can just outpace the last Thunderbolt. Yeah, I think they could have gone for Surf here. I don't know if they thought they had that option, but yeah, that probably would have been a good win con if they did. And in comes Skarmory, which I was a little bit worried that I wasn't going to be able to win this. And I think the big mistake they made here was throwing a Brave Bird first, because now all my moves are going to do, like, so much more than they normally would do. If he just threw Sky Attacks, I think I would have been in a bad spot. But yeah, he goes for the double Brave Bird. No, he doesn't. So yeah, he should have gone for Sky Attack first there. That's like case in point. But yeah, I didn't even need Lantern for the end of that because Brines were just doing so much damage. So, you know, for all you new trainers out there, don't feel discouraged. I play this game way too much. If you're like just trying to get into Battle League, watch this. Like, get out there and play. Earn yourself some Stardust. It's not gonna, like, losing, I think the first step to getting good at a game like this is to be okay with losing. Like, I know it's like, oh, I'm gonna lose like my rank or my elo, but it doesn't matter. You're still getting Stardust even if you lose all 5 matches. So take that Stardust, build some better Pokemon, get back in there. It'll be fine. And okay, so we got Umbreon and the Toxapex. Incredibly slow matchup here, but I managed to give myself like an advantage before I swap into Toxapex, so this is like not going to be that close at all. I think I can just farm down from here, and I think that's what I'm going to go for. So yeah, farm it up, and then they swap into Crustle. And you know what's happening, we got those rank 1 teams, so yeah, they decide to shield. They want this thing alive. I don't know what kind of plan they got, but they're going for it right now. Apologies, I'm also drinking coffee in the background. I just woke up. Oh! But yeah, we swap back into Swampert, go for some Hydro Cannons, and this poor Crustle really just doesn't have anywhere to go. And yeah, I decided to catch the move on my lantern. I knew they had some energy left, so I figured I'd just better safe than sorry. And what do they have? They have Polyrath, so that's a good game. It's honestly, if I didn't have my lantern, I'd be in a bad spot here, because I think he could just farm down my Swampert, but you know, that's how it goes. Let's get into the next one. Alright, let's see. I'm definitely going to start editing out these loading screens. I don't think that's getting me anywhere, really. Okay, so, not the best matchup. I get farmed down pretty quick here, so I'm going to throw a Hydro Cannon, and I think I'm going to dip into Toxapex. With this team, Toxapex is your safe swap. Unless they have... sorry. Unless they have, like, a Registeel, or like a Skarmory, you're in a good spot. But they have Annihilate, which isn't the strongest answer, because Poison Jab does more damage than you think it does against Annihilate. He's just that squishy, and I'm resisting the counters, so it's kind of like just a bad neutral matchup for both of us. I thought he was going to go for a Shadow Ball here, so I decided to shield. I should not have done that, because I think that might cost me the match here. And he goes for another Night Slash, and he gets the boost. So this is what cost me this game right here. It feels bad, like, losing a game, because he got, like, this 1 out of 10, I don't know what the chance is, like 10%? Something like that, but I have to shield everything now, just out of fear of being one-shot, and, like, yeah, you're gonna see how much this Night Slash does here. Oh, that's too much for a Night Slash. And so I'm in a rough spot. I'm down on shields. He comes back in with the Dragonair. I have to throw this Resisted Surf, which he's like, no. I want to keep this thing alive. And then he has Mantine. So all around, just alignment issues. He got the boost. It was a bad match for me, but hey, that's the name of the game. I'm not a person who believes in, like, oh, it's the algorithm, or like Niantic's trying to get me to lose to spend more money. I genuinely think, like, it's just matchup based off of your personal elo, so that's what we're rolling with. And you know, it happens. You gotta be fine with the losses every now and then. You're playing against good players. You gotta be okay with taking the L every now and then. Wait, did I win that? I wasn't paying attention. That's my commentary for you. For those who don't know, I struggle with attention spans, so you know, this is gonna be just as much of a challenge for you guys as it is for me. We pull a win out of there. I don't even know how. That was. Alright, well, moving on. We swap back into Toxapex after getting a shield advantage. Annihilate, probably throwing the Shadow Ball here. Never mind, I'm making all the wrong calls today. He gets the boost. I think this is the one where I lose after he gets the boost, because that's super early. And does he get another one? No, he's good. But yeah, I can't catch a break with these Annihilates. These guys, they're like, you know, what if I just got stronger? And sometimes it's like that. But yeah, I gotta shield everything, because I just, like, he'll tear through my backline right now. I'm the only thing keeping my Toxapex alive is that poison resistance to counter. And thankfully, they decide to swap into Dugong. They're like, okay, I've got a chance. But what sucks is Thunderbolt won't one-shot after the spark damage because of the nerf he got. Which, like, good. Honestly, I'm glad Lantern isn't as broken as before. Kind of when I was building this team, I was expecting people to write Lantern off. That was my hope. I wanted people to build teams that were weak to Lantern because they're like, he's nerfed. Who's gonna be playing him? Me. I'm playing him. And yeah, I tried to go for the move here. We see him Pt.1, which is not good. Because, well, I mean, it doesn't really matter. But yeah, I farmed down with Toxapex, and he's got Steelix. So, that's a good game. We're gonna play it out here just in case. But yeah, I'm just doing no fast move damage. He's got Psychic Fangs. It's over. GG's. Alright, moving on. Let's see who we got here. Yeah, I definitely gotta start cutting these out. Alright, so Swampert into Altaria. It's not great. Not great at all, so we swap into Toxapex. And he's deciding to stay in. So either he wants to get some chip and dip, or he might be weak to poison or water. I feel like usually the way I play this, if they stay in, I'm like, okay, I gotta keep Lantern alive, because they don't have a good answer for water type. So they're just missing an electric type, which could be the case. One thing you gotta watch out with this team is like Whiscash. I think it's probably the biggest issue. But Whiscash are grass types, because I'm double ABA weak to grass, which isn't the best, and he brings in Bastiodon, which like, okay, we got Swampert. And then brings in Metacham, and yeah, this is just a good game, because I got Lantern. Despite the nerf, Lantern is still bulky as all get out, and it's not like, you know, I could just farm him down here, I think. He brings out the power-up punch. And I'm like, okay. I think he was trying to bait like a bigger move, but I just knew I didn't need to shield whatever came in. And so he's trying to stay alive. I've got both my shields. We're in a really good spot right now. It's looking like a good game. But shout out to my opponent. You know, playing it out. You always respect people just trying to play it out, get that experience, see what works, see what doesn't. So we bring in the Surf, and then yeah, 2 water types against the Bastiodon. Not the best for this big guy. But yeah, we get some go battle lag right there. Real great. Didn't get the excellent, so he hangs on just a little bit longer. And I think one more Hydro Cannon should do it. I forget if I build up to the... Yeah, I'm going for the Earthquake, and he's like, yeah, no, you're not getting that. Yeah, that's one thing. If you notice my sets, despite the fact that I've hit Legend, I am terrible with move counting. Like, my ADHD has got me going like every which way, and so I forget to count a lot. But sometimes you can just make it work out. Once again, only raid 2. Take it with a grain of salt. But yeah, moving on. Let's see what we got. Big Billy Jr., my man. So they come in Flicktongue, and not a great matchup. And I think what I try to do here is I attempt to catch a Power Whip onto Toxapex. But I am, once again, I said the last match, I'm bad at counting. So I give up a shield, and they bait me with a Body Slam. So we're already making all the wrong plays here. But that's okay. Tongue's almost out of here, and I think I go ahead and swap into, yeah, I do. Swap into Toxapex, get the farm down, and whatever they throw here, Toxapex can take. It's not a big deal. And they come in with Gligar, which, not great for Toxapex. Thankfully, we have Brian, which he does give us a shield, which is awesome. And I'm like, okay, whatever comes out, just let it go. He goes for the dig. It almost takes me out. He gets the farm down. It happens. When we come back in with our Swampert, we got some energy on the big boy. And let's see if he wants to shield this. He does. So yeah, shield this one. It's just an Aerial Ace, I think. But we should be able to outpace, and we get there. And this Hydro Cannon versus Shadow Gligar, yeah, GG's. So let's see what they got. Hopefully it's not another ground type. That's all I'm banking on. We can get the farm down here, so we got Swampert with energy against an Annihilate, and yeah, this is a good game. With the Hydro Cannon damage and just having a full HP Lantern, we're in a really good spot. So you can throw a Shadow Ball, it'll take us a little bit below half, and then we can just throw our Surf, which thankfully we got a hit on energy for that, and we are good. So, you know, even though we are rank 1, you know, we got some somewhat meta teams around here. Seems like everybody's trying to make their way out of here. But if you're watching this, one of the 10 viewers I got right now, let me know how your last season went if you're playing, or what kind of teams you've been running. I am curious to see what you guys are all about this season and next season. And we got a really good matchup for Swampert in this next match. You know, if they're staying in with a matchup like this, they gotta be weak to Swampert in the back. But I really don't have a great answer if I want to swap out to keep him alive, so I'm like, okay, we gotta play this out. And I think I shield this here, and I might go for the farm down, I forget. Yeah, we make the farm down, which is not bad at all. and they bring in a Zoomeril, and I blind through this. I was like, I could have thrown an Earthquake against this guy. I'm like, you know what? We'll just get 2 Hydro Cannons, get what damage we can, and we'll move on. That's okay. But thankfully, we had Toxapex, which is one of the hardest answers to a Zoomeril out there. Shoutouts to the shiny Azumarill. I am so happy that I got this shiny Toxapex. The IVs are trash, by the way. Like it's all like straight down the middle for his stats, like a 777 or something like that. But you know, we take that game, not bad. They decided to forfeit. Sometimes you respect the forfeit. I always respect anybody who will forfeit over quitting because it saves both of us time. Let's see here. Got a good matchup? Boom. All right. They did not want to deal with a bad matchup there. But that's okay. You know, you can't win them all. I do recommend, before you top left, getting a bad matchup, play it out. Always play it out. The key to being good at this game is having, I guess, the drive and willpower to, like, overcome bad leads. Because, like, it's a coin flip, you know, you're gonna get good leads, you're gonna get bad leads, and if you can overcome the bad leads, then you're winning like 70% of your games right there. That's why I think, like, my friends make fun of me because I'm like a ABB monster. That's like all I play, because I think it just works, especially in this random format where you don't, like, it's not like a show 6 pick 3 where you're just like, okay, I got 3 Pokemon, you got 3 Pokemon, let's play this out. Because it gives you the opportunity to swap out and see what they have in the back, and then plan accordingly. Because you have basically 1 Pokemon you can sacrifice, which some other team comps play similarly. ABB just makes the most sense to me. I know there are other team comps that people might prefer, but I think especially for this like random open format, kind of just like random matchmaking, I think it works the best. And so we got Whiscash versus Swampert. You know, we've seen this matchup before. They have to shield these Hydro Cannons or it's over. So, you know, fairly neutral matchup. I got 2 fast moves in there, so we're looking good. We can make it to the next Hydro Cannon, and we gotta take this guy out ASAP because Lantern struggles. I don't know. I was thinking about running Water Gun on Lantern, but just having that electric move for the water flyers or just the flyers in general is so crucial. And I think we see like a Feraligatr matchup later, which, thanks to the nerf, you actually really struggle to farm down a Feraligatr, especially if they're running Crunch, which, you know, is fine. That gives other players more play, and I think it's generally a good thing to have not such dominating matchups. Like, of course, you have Lantern and Talonflame, which, like, GG's, but like, you know, I think it's a good thing to have those matchups where players can overcome, you know, if they want to like try and outplay. It's not just like, I win this because I have Lantern in the back. No, like, you know, let us strategize a little bit, let us have some fun. And look at that, that's a great lead. So yeah, they decide to swap out. I'm like, okay, can I get this Earthquake? You know they'd have to shield this, right? Like, it's too obvious. Nah, they don't shield it. So I get rid of a Pokemon for free, and they come in with Skarmory. I'm like, okay, they're still switch locked, so let's just go straight in the Lantern. And we're looking like to be in a pretty good spot. Their switch clock is coming up soon. Like, I'm still able to get like a lot of damage off, and I think they're gonna, like, they have to try and shield this, right? Yeah, so I get a good bait there, and spark damage not doing as much as it used to do, but still doing a lot of damage, and I'm resisting everything. So, you know, they're doing their best. I come in, or no, they come in with Clodsire. I got a Surf ready, and I just really have to stall so I can swap back out. Sucks. Toxapex really doesn't have anywhere to go this matchup, but sometimes you don't even need it. Like, I got so much energy on my Swampert that we're golden. And so I got 2 Hydro Cannons here, and yeah, so I decided to double throw, take them out, and yeah, I think I just need Toxapex for this. Good thing is Toxapex is just so bulky that he doesn't even need to have like good fast move pressure. He can take whatever's here. They go for the Sky Attack, which is the better play. You don't want to decrease that defense when you don't have to. but it's already GG's. But good games. We got the 2 shield flex there. All right. Got the rank 2 flex. Get our encounters. I like to put these in. I think it's like a fun little thing to break up the action and get my wing goal. Stats for all of my encounters for this, they've all sucked. So we made it to rank 3. All right. Oh. So let's see here. Who we got next? All right, Luis. Lantern. Okay, good lead. I think this might be one that I mess up. Because I'm like, oh yeah, they gotta try and shield an earthquake, right? Let me go for a hydro cannon. And the gall here, they're like, nah. We know you want to bait. And they knew. Like, respect. Luis got my number. And I'm like, okay, damage control, we're throwing as many hydro cannons as we can. I don't care what happens. And I'm like, okay, now I might need switch, because even though I am running an ABB line, Lantern and Toxapex are such different Pokemon that they have like really good matchups, but not the same ones. Like Lantern does very well against Skarmory, and Toxapex does not. But that's good. So now we can get some chip damage with the Hydro Cannon. We get to another one, which is great. And then we can just come in with Lantern. And depending on if they have like another Steel in the back, let's see what they have, and they have Annihilate. So let's go ahead, get that Surf, get that chip damage, and we're gonna come in with Toxapex and just brine away. Yeah, so we get them down to half, and honestly the Poison Jab damage is enough here. Like, there's not much my opponent can do, so they're gonna throw the Shadow Ball because they kind of have to. But Toxapex, being the tank that he is, does not care. And so we get Brine, and then they, like, yeah, all it takes is one more Brine. They're like, yeah, I get that. But, you know, they had me sweating in the first half, not gonna lie. They almost had me. But, let's see here. We got Swampert into Whiscash. So, we've seen how this goes. It's really just a spam fest. Like, who can throw the most moves. Swampert wins CMP, thankfully. But I don't think that was a CMP time. And they let it go. So, we're off to a good start. Honestly, you just want to get these guys out of the way as quickly as possible. So I'm going to shield this up, just a Mud Bomb. Still would do a decent amount of damage, but we can get the next one and get our shield back. Yeah, we get our shield back, which is, you know, it's fine. It's not the end of the world. And then they go for another Mud Bomb, which, whew, that does roughly 50%, which is crazy for a low priority or low damage move like Mud Bomb. But they come in with Jellicent and like, alright, we got Lantern. And we are going to have to tank a Shadow Ball, but Lantern can do that comfortably, being the thick fish he is. Yep, okay, yeah, that is about 50%. And I try to bait with a Surf, and I'm now wondering, like, do I even go for baits anymore? Because it never works. And I'm like, I gotta throw another Surf, or he's getting to another Shadow Ball. So I do that, and you know, he lets it go, holding on to that shield. Comes back in with a Lantern, we're getting our chip with Spark, and he gets the Mud Bomb, and you gotta let it go. It's not worth it. And we come back in with, yeah, Swampert, and I think I can get the farm down here, but I couldn't if I didn't shield. So we're trusting everything into Toxapex, and they have Skeledirge. And I think this might be one of the ones that I misplay. So they go for Shadow Ball here. And that does a lot of damage. And I'm thinking like, okay, they are only going for Disarming Voices after this because they only go for 2. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm Poison type, I can resist this, but I'm getting low on my HP. Like, even though the fast move and the charge move is resisted here, it's still doing enough damage to make me sweat. So I have to take this guy out, and Brian just isn't doing enough damage, and he's getting so much that even if I was able to take him out here, just the Mud Shot from Whiscash would be enough. And yeah, that's how it goes. I think I misplayed a little bit. I should have kept that Swampert alive, but sometimes you just can't tell what they have in the back. And so don't beat yourself up if you lose anything. The season is so long, guys. Like, to put things into perspective, last season, I was at like right below expert. And I was like, oh, I'm just going for expert this season. Like, I've never hit legend. And I got demolished. I got absolutely dogged. I got sent back down to the depths of 2300 elo. But you just, like, don't let that discourage you. Just keep playing. Like, you have so much time each season to, like, get these wins, and you can climb elo so fast. So, like, what I did was, whenever the cups rotated and they came around, like, I think I climbed from 23, like, up to legend in 4 days. Because I just had a really strong team for the catch cup that was beating the current meta. Like, and it was really close to the one that I'm running right now. Like, I was running basically the same backline with Toxapex and Lantern, but with Gligar as a lead. And that covered, like, everything. The only thing I was worried about was Mud Boys, but you saw so many Mantine safe swaps. And, like, so many flyers in general. And Polygraphs. The Lantern was just annihilating the competition. And so, you know, one thing is, you know, don't give up. But the other thing is, pay attention to what you're seeing. And what's helped me is sometimes just write down the team you see and see if you can find any common outliers. And then, like, build a team around that. And boom, you're already kind of, like, beating the algorithm in a bit by taking on what the most common leads are, you know? It's not always going to work out, but you're trying to min-max here. Okay, tangent aside. I have not been paying attention to this at all. So we got Mandibuzz into Swampert. All their shields are down. And yeah, they're going to get this attack. Take out my Swampert. But we have the bulky Toxapex with a Sludge Wave loaded. Yeah, this is looking like a good game. They just don't have the HP for it left, and we can get a Brine off. Still fighting the good fight. You always respect it. But I'm like, okay, I'll just throw up my last shield just in case. And in case they're running like Solar Beam, who knows. But yeah, that's all good. Alright, a nice 3-2 set. You know, even though it's like the early ranks, not 100% wins, you know, we still got some good players here and there. Alright, making it up to rank 4. I'm already calling it. I'm not gonna have to give up that Masterball and Bidoof. If this catches on, I swear all you guys are gonna be doing is trying to run counters to the team I run, but we'll see. So this is a Pokemon that you don't see much anymore. Sableye, not as solid a pick as it used to be. And the funny thing is, I think this might be one that I struggled in. Let's see. So I decided to go ahead and swap in a Toxapex, and they have Bastiodon, which I'm thinking, oh boy, do they have Shadow Victory Bell in the back? And so I'm thinking, like, okay, I gotta, like, I'm now thinking in my head, my backline is so weak to grass. Like, it's basically over. But my Lantern has a better matchup than my Swampert. So I think that I'm just putting all of my cards into Lantern right now because because Swampert will just get absolutely dogged by Shadow Victory Bell. And yeah, they fire up the Sunage, we resisted. I'm trying to farm up as much energy as I can, and they come in with Tropius. So, wasn't the Shadow Vic, but this is one of the few times you'll see me just straight up quit, because there was nothing. He was part flying, but I needed Toxapex desperately for that. So that's one thing that this team does struggle with, is if you are using it in the ABB format, there are some times it just doesn't work. Because I needed Toxapex in the back there, but we lured out like something that, you know, our team didn't even really struggle with that much. So yeah, having 2 poison types would be an advantage here, but you know, sometimes it happens. It works much better if you can draw the electric type or something, but you know, they decide to swap into Mantine, and we have Lantern. Yeah, this is one thing that like got me so far last season, is the sheer amount of Mantines. Like, it was disgusting how many people would use them as safe swaps. And basically, if they decide to safe swap and you have Lantern in the back, 9 times out of 10, you have guaranteed yourself a victory. He can't do that much damage. You come out absolutely loaded with energy. I have 1.5 Thunderbolts already, or 2 Surfs, or I could throw a Thunderbolt and Surf. Like, it's disgusting. And so, like, we've already almost taken out his next Pokemon, and he has to throw energy here, or I get to another Surf. So it puts him in such a bad spot, all because I was able to fully farm down this, like, Stingray. And, oh, man, if you safe swap Mantine and there's a Lantern, like, I don't know, I'm sorry, man. I'm really sorry. And so they have A-Slash in the back, they fire out some draw runs, but it's looking like a GG because I have, I got Brian, I got Swampert in the back. They decided to no shield this, but I got another Brian because I just was able to get that nice farm down. And he decides to shield it. I'm like, alright, we got Hydro Cannon, and yeah, GG's. Yeah, it's, you can't win them all. But, you know, had a fairly good run this time. I'm wondering, like, if anybody is watching, because I know this is like the first videos I've ever uploaded, but give me your feedback. I genuinely do want to know what you guys like, what you don't like. Do you like the art? Would you rather me show the Pokemon with the stats? I know a lot of people like that, but I kind of just have the opinion that they're not entirely necessary. Like, maybe I'll show the stats up there for like the beginning of the video, but for the whole video, I don't know. It's like imagine if I'm playing an Overwatch match or something, and I just like, what do you call it? Oh my god, I completely lost my train of thought. I just showed like the hero there for the entire match, just like on the side of the screen. You guys are seeing my team the whole video, so I don't find that entirely necessary. But yeah, that's no big deal. But yeah, I think it would be more fun just to include like either my art or something, because I don't know. I know a lot of people like watching those drawing videos and seeing like if they can guess it early. But we'll see what happens. Alright, so we took out the Umbreon and they come in with Obstagoon. And so, you know, we're firing off these Hydro Cannons. And shout out to the shiny Obstagoon. Honestly, one of the best Sword and Shield shinies out there. Whenever I first got Sword and Shield, my friends were laughing at me because I spent a week on the first route trying to find a shiny Zigzagoon so I could get that awesome shiny. Before I did anything in the game, I wanted that thing. And I think I found it like one morning before I had to go to work. But interestingly, this thing has Obstruct, which is his signature move. I don't know. I think it's a good move, because not only does it lower your defense, but it raises his, so it's kind of like a double debuff, but it just doesn't do any damage, and you can just swap out, you know, clear half those debuffs or buffs. And they have the, oh my god, Nidoqueen. Oh man, my brain is fried right now, I'm thinking way too hard. But we take that game pretty easy. Alright, let's see what we got here. Oh, moving on. We got Skywquiz. Oh, and they come in with the hardest counters. Guys, I don't know how we're gonna beat these guys. I don't, like, oh man. And a shiny Zubat. People just don't, like, they don't need to be going full meta like this. Like, let the little guys have some fun. Like, I had to throw an Earthquake here. I would have lost. That's crazy. Anyways, moving on to the next match. Got 3 out of 5 battles won. Let's see if we can make it a 4-1. Hopefully, the next trainer will give us a win, unlike that last one. And oh my god, this match had me stressed out. So, this is the biggest core breaker that I didn't think existed. I didn't expect to see a Celebi ever. And so he has play against my entire team, Grass and Psychic. So I was really worried that he was gonna not let me get that huge farm down. Since the Celebi, it could have done big damage to like my entire team. But thankfully they let me get it so low with the poison jabs, it's not as big of a threat as it would have been. But yeah, they bring in Victory Bell, which thankfully this is the one party member that I can actually handle him with, so I'm really glad he decided to swap in with that. And I think, yeah, we don't get the farm down, but we just come in with Lantern, get 2 sparks in, we're good. And I think they come back in with Selby, yeah. But honestly, we can just shield once, get the farm down. Good thing about Confusion is it does big damage, but it doesn't get much energy, and they just blew all of it on a Hyper Beam. Which, shout out to this trainer, this is one of the spiciest damn teams I've ever seen. Shiny, Celebi with, I mean, the Victory Bell is pretty common, but also Shiny Magcargo, very solid. But yeah, my team, aside from the Victory Bell and the Celebi, like, we did pretty well against Magcargo, but GG's, awesome team. Alright, got Grubbin. I struggle with the excellent on those guys. Yeah, trash stats, get rid of that guy. And we made it to rank 5. Alright. And this set right here, this is one that I really didn't do too hot on this one. Part of it was like alignment issues, the other part was just me choking pretty bad. And we get a great lead. We get a really good lead. But then they come in with Wiggly's up. I'm like, okay, awesome. We have Toxapex. And we can just get this full farm down. Like, sure, they get an Icy Wind off. But that's fine. That's not a big deal. And I'm immediately thinking, like, okay. Like, they gotta have that Shadow in the back. Like, this is just, like, peanut butter and jelly. This is whatever. Everybody runs this team, and I hate it. But I'm like, okay, undercharge this. Get a little bit of extra energy. And then, of course, Bastiodon comes back in. Switch Clock is not up, which sucks. But, like, just trying to get whatever chip damage I can. And, like, he's getting just... The Rock Throws were just doing so much damage. And so, you know, we're just really hoping whatever they have, like, we can handle. And they're staying in, which I thought was interesting. Maybe they're trying to get as much damage as they can. But I was really expecting that Shadow Vic to come in right now, but they're just trying to get damage off. I'm like, okay, maybe I should, maybe I shouldn't shield this. I decided not to, just because I am omega worried as to what's in the back. And let's see, it might be double fairy. I forget, but I don't think I win this one. Yep, it is Altaria. So, yeah, team reading aside, they threw me off completely, which is, I don't know if that was their strat. Like, I can still go for the Sludge Wave here, but of course they shield it. And, you know, it's a GG. They've got both shields, and I'm like, okay, they wouldn't go for the Moonblast here if I have a shield, right? That's too much energy. They go for the Moonblast. And now I'm in farm down range, and, you know, one misplay after another. It's okay. I now know why they didn't come in immediately with an Altaria versus the Lantern, but... yeah, they outplayed me here. GG's. But yeah, you guys are gonna watch me suffer in this set. So, you know, that's just one thing you need to keep in mind. You know, even though I've hit Legend, even though I consider myself fairly good at this game, you're still gonna have those bad sets. You're still gonna misplay. Just learn from it, move on. That's all you can do. And so, pretty neutral matchup here. I think Azumarill kind of does better just from its sheer amount of bulk. And yeah, it's already got me down to like almost the red here. But we go for the Earthquake, and I think we're gonna try and dip here after. If they shield it, we'll take that shield advantage swap, and they bring in Registeel, which might be the hardest counter to Toxapex, and you really just don't see Registeel that much. It's, I don't know, even though if you look at PvPoke right now, he is at the top. He is the #1 rated Pokemon on PvPoke, but you just never see him. I think because people are just afraid of Annihilate. That would be my #1 reason. Annihilate, you got some Polyrats in there. I haven't seen any Scrafty even after you got Thunder Punch, which I kind of want to try out, but we'll see how it goes. And let's see here. Yep, they go for the Focus Blast. I'm like, okay, I can at least get the Hydro Cannon off to get this guy out of the way. And then I think they come back in with Azumarill, which... No, yeah, this is where they have the Gligar. And what sucks is I'm pretty sure I tried to call a bait here. They no shield this, which that should have been the tell right there. Like if they no shield it, they're trying to goad me into no shielding to save my shields as well. I should have called that that they would have just full sent it. But yeah, we get outpaced here to the airlays, and my Swampert just doesn't have enough HP before it gets like farmed down because they can just shield this. My mud shots aren't doing enough damage. That's okay. GG's. Yeah, they win this one. I'm like, this sucks because this is the set where I get all the items, which, I don't know, maybe I just want some rare candy. They're not great. I have enough TMs. I know a lot of top players be like, I never have any TMs and I just have one question. How? Like, they're pretty common. Oh, and, yep, just entering the call real quick. Sorry about that, guys. Girlfriend wanted to chat a little bit. Here, yeah, we got Swampert into for Alligator, which, you know, immediate swap into Toxapex. I have two better answers in the back, and they come out Clodsire. So, pretty tough matchup. I do have some play because I have the Brine, but my fast moves are doing nothing. They're double resisted. It's basically like I'm fighting a Steel type, which, you know, we'll see what we can do. They do full send to the Earthquake. I kind of knew that was happening, but I didn't see myself winning this matchup, especially if they wanted to throw shields as well. So I just figured I'd save my shields and trust in Swampert to take this thing out. But they do get a very nice farm down on me. And I think that is like, that's probably what lost me the match, is letting them get that farm down. Because it was crazy. I think I should have shielded that first Earthquake and at least gotten a little more damage to where I could have farmed down with Swampert. But yeah, they get a lot of energy. They come back in with for Alligator. I'm like, okay, they're switch locked. I can come in with Lantern and farm down, but here's the thing. Lantern doesn't do as much damage as it used to, so they can actually get 2 crunches off before I'm able to fully farm down, which is crazy. I still go for it anyways, because I'm crazy, but it's just too much damage. Okay, not 2 crunches, but 2 moves, I guess. Brings me down just into the red, so I can at least throw a Surf, and I'm like, okay, I can get the Surf off, take out the Clodsire. What else do they have? I'm just mashing Surf right now. And they have Mandibuzz, which ABA reeked to Lantern. Crazy that I lost this, but they played well. And yeah, sometimes you just have those sets, guys. This isn't like a 0-5. I do get 1 win, so don't worry about it. It happens. But yeah, they farm me down with Snarl, which is crazy. But jumping back in, I'm like auto-queuing. I'm like, oh man, I gotta get a win. I gotta get a win in here. I knew this would happen. If you guys like watching big time chokes, get ready. This is my channel. Coffee's great. All right. And then, yeah, swap into our Toxapex here, and they bring in Skarmory, and this is tough, but not the worst, because Brine still does decent chip, and even the Poison Jabs add up, you know? It's not the worst damage, because I am resisting the Steel Wings, so at least I have that going for me. And we're just throwing Brines here. We're gonna get him close to the red. I forget if he decides to full send the Brave Bird. I think he does. We'll see. No, he just goes for the Sky Attack, so he's gonna have to throw another one of those. And he gets to it, but he hasn't done enough fast move damage yet to threaten taking me out. So yeah, he has to throw the Brave Bird here, and at this point I'm like, okay, farm down with Lantern, we're looking good. Get about 5 fast moves in, and they come back in with Annihilate. They win CMP, of course. And yep, that's a Shadow Ball, good shield. But let's see here. This should do about half if they don't want to shield it, which, you know, it's close. And then we can get to the Hydro Cannon, and they catch it on a Dugong. This people are just dancing over me like it's crazy. And I'm like, okay, can I make it to the Earthquake? I cannot. So I'm just going for the Hydro Cannon. And I feel like I shouldn't have thrown that. I should have just let them throw it, because now they get the full farm down. I should have just gone for the Earthquake there, because me throwing that Hydro Cannon gives them the okay to fully farm down because I don't have close to an earthquake anymore. So I really should have gone for that, like, I should have gone for the earthquake regardless if I could have made it there or not. Because honestly, Lantern has a much better matchup and I should have just came in with it. But that's okay, live and learn. Die to a Shadow Ball. It happens. Alright, last one. Can I make it not a 5 or a 0-5? Oh, Chan man, let's see what you got. And he brings in a Gligar. Awesome, awesome. Finally, good matchup. Let's see here. He's deciding to stay in, which is interesting. And what's crazy if you're running a triple water team, if they decide to stay in against a bad matchup, odds are your backline does well against them too. So we'll have to see what they got. They decided to go for the aerial ace. I'm like, you know what? We're keeping that guy alive. He's obviously afraid of him. And I'm like, you know, it's just an aerial ace. You can take that. Finally getting some counting correct. And they bring in Double, which, if this thing's running Wild Charge, it might not be the best, but we do have Swampert, you know? So let's see what they decide to throw here. I think this one might just be a Body Slam. Yeah, they go for the Body Slams. And yeah, they throw another one, but I don't think this is enough to KO, so I can get another Brine off. Yeah, we hang on just a little bit, which is great. So he has to give up a shield if he wants to survive here, which he does. So yeah, even shields, but honestly, I think I can farm down with my Swampert. Yeah, he gets a move off, and I think this is the payback. And that almost KOs, which is crazy. But he has a Carbink in the back, so you see why he was afraid of the Swampert now. But he lets the Earthquake go, and this is a GG. You know, there's not much he can do against a Lantern, and I'm like, there's no way I can mess this up. Yeah, and he just lets it go. He realizes it. So, not a complete loss. Taking that rare candy, those 3 rare candies to the bank, and those were my sets for today. So, yeah. Thanks for watching, guys. It's been a good one, and yeah, let me know what you think about this. I'm not the best commentator. I feel like I definitely need to practice at this, but this is something that I've wanted to do for a long time, and I'm finally just like, you know, just going all in, going for it, learning like the editing, the everything. And so give me your feedback. I really do appreciate any comments that are left in the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. I'm gonna try to upload hopefully like twice a week, maybe 3 times, but for now it is taking me a while to edit this stuff, but we'll see. I'm gonna do what I can. I definitely want to make this a good series, but I really appreciate whoever decides to watch this, and I will see you in the next one. Have a good one.